Let's find out just how loud we're talking. Testing, testing on the mic. Kylo is live on camera here. Okay, guys, I have been really wanting to make this video for a long time, and I've not done a lot of studying on it, and I don't claim to be an expert on any of this. What I have done is I have downloaded a wing report. I've got several gliders. There's a pile of gliders almost to the ceiling over here in this studio. I'm looking at them and it's almost embarrassing just how many damn paragliders that I have. And I'm not going to tell you how many that is because you would know just how sick I am. But one of those paragliders over there is the Ozone Delta 3. And I was just messing around on the internet the other day and I was thinking, you know, I wonder why it's a C-rated wing. What makes it a C glider? What test did it fail? What's going on? And so I downloaded some test reports. And to be honest, I can't even remember where I got these things. There's a website that has them listed, like all the test reports for all the gliders that are rated gliders. And I'm talking the EN rating system, EN. And there's two parts of the EN rating system. There's one that's just about the loading and how strong the lines have to be. And there's some details on there. I might do a video on that. Again, I don't have the information in front of me. I read through it and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then there's like -2 section of the EN rating system. And that's the flight characteristics. And that's what we're gonna look at on this wing. So let's just get right into this thing here. I've got the test report opened up on my laptop here, and we're gonna look at it together. And we're gonna this is the first time I've kind of read, I glanced over it when I downloaded it just to make sure it was the report I was looking at, but I've not done like any hard research on it. So let me start my scene recording. Fuck, why can't I talk? I never can talk. I've been working with a new student today. He learned to kite in one day at the Kylo School of Paramotor. He got it figured out. He's putting in the right moves now. He's doing forward launches, reverse launches. Tomorrow we're going to practice some high wind stuff, but let's get back on track. If you want to join the school, it's $1,000 for training. So I'm going to put a new screen recording right here, right now. There, we are recording live. So let's scroll to the top of this report. And this is paratest.com, and it's written in some foreign language up here. I think this may be French. And this is a flight test report, EN and LTF, and there's some numbers there. This is Ozone Gliders. It's got the address. The glider model is a Delta 3, classification C. The serial number, the representative is Russell Ogden himself with Ozone, a legend in the sport no less. Russ did a talk that Gavin McClurg videoed at some paragliding competition about flying advanced gliders, two-liners. I watched it 2 or 3 times. It's just a plethora of information. And his interview that he did on the Cloud-Based Mayhem, oh man, I've listened to those things a few times. I got to throw in a plug for the Mayhem. That guy really has a cool thing going on. Test pilot, Zoller Elaine. I don't know him, but I'm sure he is a fantastic pilot. He would have to be to do this. It tells the harness to riser's distance, 44 and 43. Oh, there's 2 pilots here. Thurnhere Claude, and these are because these pilots are probably different weights. Thurnhere Claude was flying at 95 kilograms, and Zoller was flying at 115 kilograms. And that's going to make a difference on some of these tests here. So let's just get right into it. Inflation and takeoff got a B grade overall. The rising behavior for the light pilot was easy rising. Some pilot correction is required. That garnered a B rating. Same thing with the Zoller Allen, the heavier pilot. Easy rising, some pilot correction required, got a B rating. Special takeoff technique required? No, it got an A on both of those. Landing, special techniques required? No, A. Speed in straight flight, it got an A. Trim more than Trim more than 30 kilometers an hour. Yes, A. Yes, A. Minimum speed, less than 25. Less than 25, it got an A rating there. Speed range using the controls is larger than gosh damn it, I can't talk. I suck at talking. I'm so sorry for you subscribers and fans and people that have to listen to this shit. because I'm not going to edit it out. You're just going to have to deal with these mistakes because I've got more things to do than edit out my stupid ass talking. Control movement, maximum weight, and then this has got to do with the weights here, up to 80 kilograms. Symmetric control pressure is not available because they didn't fly up to that. 80 to 100, that was on Thurn here. Yeah, I guess that's how you say it. Maximum weight 80 to 100, it increasing greater than 60 centimeters. That's control movement. And then, of course, Zoller. Thurnier and Zoller. Those are hard names to remember. Increasing greater than 65. So both of those got A's on control movement. Pitch stability exiting accelerated flight. It got an A on this rating. Dive forward angle on exit, less than 30 degrees, less than 30 degrees. And I don't know the parameters that are, you know, like if it was less than 45 degrees, maybe it gets a B rating. I don't know exactly where all these numbers fit in, and I don't know the specifics of the test. I'm not a test pilot, and I've actually looked at that, but I can't remember the numbers. There's certain numbers that'll categorize it into each of these ratings. But again, I don't know these numbers. I just know that that's what gets it an A rating if the dive forward is less than 30 degrees. So pitch stability, operating controls during accelerated flight. Collapse occurs? No, on all the weight ranges. So that's good. It got an A there. Roll stability and dampening. Oscillations are reducing at all wing loadings. So that got an A. Stability in gentle spirals, tendency to return to straight flight. It got an A. It both had spontaneous exits. Behavior exiting a fully developed spiral dive. Boo! It got an A. Immediate reduction in the rate of turn and initial response of glider in the first 180 degrees. Immediate reduction of rate of turn. So both of those got A. Tendency to return to straight flight. Spontaneous exit, G-force decreasing, rate of turn decreasing. Both of those got A's. Good stuff there. Turn angle to recover normal flight, less than 720 degrees. Less than 720 degrees at both wing loadings. So that's an interesting thing. It recovers from a hard spiral, or was this a light spiral? What is this? A fully developed spiral dive. Less than 720 degrees, it fully recovers spontaneously. So that's cool. Here we go. Here's a C. This is probably where it got the C rating, right here. Symmetric front collapse. Approximately 30% of the chord of the wing on the entry. Rocking back less than 45 degrees, it got an A on both of those. Recovery, spontaneous in 3 to 5 seconds. So at all wing loadings, it spontaneously recovered within 3 to 5 seconds from a 30% front collapse. Symmetrical. Dive forward angle on exit change of course. 0 to 30 degrees and keeping course. 0 to 30 degrees, keeping course. It got an A there. Cascade occurs? No, A. Folding lines used? No. At least 50% of the chord. Rocking back less than 45 degrees? A. Recovery, spontaneous in 3 to 5 seconds. Now this garnered a B rating. I guess it got a B rating up here too. Maybe if it's faster than 3 seconds, it gets an A rating. And if it's more than 5 seconds, it gets a D. Maybe that's maybe that's how that works there. With the accelerator, here's where the C pops in. All right, at a light loaded pilot, Thurnier here, on his entry, it rocked back less than 45 degrees. But when you throw some weight on it, Zoller got rocking back greater than 45 degrees. So that's the difference between an A rating on that particular test. Symmetric front collapse with the accelerator. And I've actually had this on this wing. I didn't find any big deal out of it. It had a full collapse, exiting a thermal on full speed bar. And it collapsed and it popped open and I kept flying. The whole thing took a couple seconds. That was real world, my experience with this glider. And I was loaded near the top. Rocking back greater than 45 degrees? It may have. I don't know. I was just kind of like, whoa, honky, look at this. But it got a C rating. Yeah, look at the next test. It recovered spontaneously in 3 to 5 seconds at the lighter wing loading. Now, this is where wing loading really plays a part in what happens to a wing when you're flying it. The recovery on the collapse was spontaneous in less than 3 seconds, and that got an A rating. So there's quite a bit of difference here, and all these tests are based on wing loading. The differences that you see here are based on the loading of the wing, so that's a pretty interesting thing to look at. The dive forward angle on exit, A, 0 to 30 degrees dive, and that's kind of what I experienced. I was heavily loaded on the glider. It spontaneously recovered less than 3 seconds. I was pretty dang quick, what I just mentioned. So that's kind of interesting there. Let's go down. Exiting deep stall, it got an A. So deep stall was achieved. It spontaneously recovered in less than 3 seconds. The forward dive angle was 0 to 30 degrees. It changed course less than 45 degrees, and no cascade occurs. So good deep stall exit characteristics of this paraglider. High angle of attack recovery. Yeah, spontaneous, less than 3 seconds at all weight loading. Recovery from a developed full stall. Oh, it got another C rating here. Let's see why. Dive forward is 30 to 60 degrees. At the light loading, again, it got a B rating here. So at the lighter loading, it dove further than it did at the heavier loading. Heavier loading, it had a 0 to 30 degree dive, and that got an A rating. So again, a difference here just based on the amount of weight that's on the wing. The collapse, it had no collapse on it. Cascade occurred other than collapses, no. Rocking back, here's where another C pops its head. At the lighter loading, it rocked back less than 45 degrees. At the heavier loading, it rocked back greater than 45 degrees. So that's where another C popped in. Again, the angle that it rocks back from a developed full stall recovery. Interesting. Most lines were tight, got an A. Number 14, oh, another C grade right here with asymmetric collapses. And let's look at the small asymmetric collapse. It looked like it got A's all the way across the board here. And I'm not going to read through every one of these little things. I know we have been, but you know, reinflation behavior, spontaneous reinflated. There's no differences here based on loading. Collapse on the opposite side occurs, no. Change of course until reinflation, maximum dive forward or roll angle. Okay, less than 90 degrees, change of course until reinflation, and dive and roll angle 15 to 45 degrees. So that apparently those parameters will give you an A rating on an asymmetric collapse. Twist occurs, no. Cascade occurs, no. Folding lines used, no. All right, large asymmetric collapses. Okay, this is where things change. All right, at all wing loadings, the change of course until reinflation was 90 to 180 degrees. So if you have a large asymmetric collapse near a mountain, that thing could turn you right into the mountain and smash you in. That gets it a B rating. So I guess more than that could get you more than a B rating. Now let's look at the C here. Why did it get a C on this parameter? Reinflation behavior. It inflates less than 3 seconds from the start of pilot action. That was at the light wing loading. Look at this over here. Heavier wing loading gets it a spontaneous reinflation. So just the wing loading is the difference between an A and a C. And it's got to do with the time that it takes for the reinflation to occur. So that's pretty interesting stuff there. Very, very minute differences could be the difference between having an A glider and a C glider. Who would have thought that? I wouldn't have thought that. I thought that the parameters would be larger to some extent. Total change of course is less than 360. That gets it an A. Collapse on the opposite side occurred. That would be what I would call a cascading event. So no. Twist, no. Cascade, no, they got cascade separately there. But small asymmetric collapse with a fully activated accelerator. It got A's all the way across there. It dives less than 90 degrees. Oh, no. Change of course less than 90 degrees. Dive or roll angle 15 to 45 degrees. Nice. Spontaneous reinflation. Collapse on the opposite side. No cascade, no twist. Nice behavior there. Large asymmetric collapse with fully activated accelerator. All right, it did pretty well there at all wing loadings. It got a B on the 90 to 180 change of course. I guess it went past 90 on both of those large asymmetric collapses. That's what got it a B rating on that particular test. All right, 15, directional control with a maintained asymmetric collapse. It was able to keep course 180 degrees turn away from the collapsed side, possible in 10 seconds. Yes, so nice. Nice, you could turn away from the collapse. Yeah, okay, so you can turn away from it and within 10 seconds you can do a 180. Very nice. I didn't realize that they tested that. I've never tried to do that, but yeah, it's possible to fly half a wing basically is what they're saying here. Trim speed, spin tendency, no. So it doesn't spin at trim speed. Low speed spin tendency, no. So it doesn't spin at low speed either. Recovery from a developed spin. Oh, gotta be there. That's spin rotation angle after the release. It stopped spinning in 90 to 180 degrees. The lighter pilot got a B on this one. The heavier pilot got an A. Stopped spinning less than 90 degrees. So, oh, I'm pushing buttons here. What does this say? No, we don't want to see that. B-line stall. A. So it has a good B-line stall. Change of course less than 45 degrees. Remains stable with a straight span. The recovery was spontaneous in less than 3 seconds. And the dive forward angle on exit was 0 to 30 degrees at all loading. Big ears, it got a B. Let's find out why. All right, it has an entry procedure, dedicated controls. I believe this is split A's is why. Behavior during big ears, it had stable flight at all wing loading. Recovery, this is where it suffered a little bit here. Recovery through pilot action in less than a further 3 seconds. I don't know what type of English that is. Recovery through pilot action in less than a further 3 second. I don't know what a further 3 second is, but okay, we'll accept a B on that grade. I have no idea why. Big ears in accelerated flight. Dedicated control stable, yes. Why did it get a B here? Recovery through pilot action in less than a further 3 seconds. Okay, all right, so I guess maybe they got like sticky big ears a little bit. That'd get it a B rating. So alternative means of direction. All right, talk, Kyle. Talk English to the people, please, sir. Alternative means of directional control. A 180 degree turn achievable in 20 seconds. Yes, on all wing loadings. Stall or spin occurs? No. Any other flight procedure and or configuration. Okay, this is just stuff not available, but let's look at it anyway. Comments of the test pilot? Don't see any comments. So yeah, Delta 3 test report. Save that booger-boo right there. Yeah, so that is how they test these wings and get these ratings on these gliders. So quite interesting. I've glanced at some of these reports before in the past, but I wanted to just kind of go through that with you guys and talk about why the wing is a C. Overall, it seems to do quite well. There's not a big lot of difference going on with these gliders, and you notice some performance gains. That's probably the biggest thing you get out of these stepping up, but some of this stuff could be important. It's a hotter glider, so you got to approach it slowly, and even though the differences don't seem that much, they can be. And when you talk about a high C, a low C, I think what they're referring to, in fact, I know what they're referring to. These reports, like if every grade on this report was a C because it behaved badly, then the glider would still be a C glider. It would be a high C glider. Now, high C. But it got a lot of A's. It got some B's. But, overall, I would say that this glider is probably a low to mid C glider. And that's kind of what the report reflects. So, you call it a low to mid C glider. That's where you get these low B, high B, whatever like that. That's how it works, guys. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed this. I kind of had fun looking at it with you. Again, I'm tired. Oh, you like my new hat? I got a new hat. Thanks, David. Met a rocket scientist. He works for these guys. Pretty cool stuff, if I don't say so myself. Yeah, I've been working all day, and I just thought that I would throw this together before I went back there and showered up and went to bed. Do I have any black stains on my face? Because I was working on some stuff that, yeah, look at my fingernails. I'll see that. I'm a filthy mongrel today, boys and girls. Forgive me. That's it. Consider giving the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. And if you don't give two shits about test reports, I don't care. Or if your name starts with a D and ends with an L, you can give me a thumbs down then too. Again, big shout out to the Patreon supporters. I just recently edited some exclusive content for you guys. I gotta throw a plug in there, y'all. If y'all are watching this video this far, maybe you like the channel, maybe you don't, but I have a Patreon account. Links below. If you want to throw a couple bucks in the tip jar, I really appreciate it. That stuff is gonna go a long way towards making better videos for the Kylo channel. I hear the kids fighting with their mom in there, so I'm gonna go handle up like daddies do. Much love, everybody. Kyle out.